What's up guys, Andrew White here and welcome to the first episode of the Ask Andrew W show, where I'll be answering questions that you guys send in each week through the hashtag AskAndrewW or through my multiple social media channels about personal finances and money. Let's get into the first question, and this one comes from Tom in Sydney who asks, why is financial literacy so important? Thanks for opening up the show, Tom, with such a cracking question. And I think it's important that I start here with this one, as I want to kind of illustrate why I'm doing what I'm doing at the moment and the real critical point that financial literacy is at within Australia. The statistics currently show that 1 in 4 Australians agree with the statement that no matter what they do with their personal situation, nothing will improve their financial position. So if you really think about that in a moment, 1 in 4 of us think that no matter what we do, whether it's related to our expenses, increasing our income, changing our superannuation, whatever it is, nothing that you do will improve your financial situation. And I think even just that mindset is just crazy for people to kind of be in a spot where they're really struggling with executing on that. 1 in 3 adults aged 16 to 25 carry more than $2,500 of debt each month going forward. I think these statistics alone show how critical the situation is within Australia, where people in the age group of kind of 16 to 40 really are unsure of what they're kind of doing with their finances, and there needs to be some form of intervention at a government level and a private company level where we can get into schools, both secondary and tertiary education, and educate these young people where it's part of the curriculum and as important as any other subject. The second question comes in from Michael down in St Kilda, Victoria, who asks, what book do you recommend most for people just starting out on their journey of improving their finances? Thanks for the great question, Michael, and this one could go a few different ways. While it's not my favourite book, investing book, I think the best place to start, because it's more geared towards Australian investors and Australian consumers, the best-selling author Scott Pape wrote a book called The Barefoot Investor that he updates each year. And Scott, if you don't know Scott, he does some great things with ASIC, which is the government organisation, and the Money Smart schools. He wrote a practical book that allows people to kind of get up and go and start to do something about their financial situation. Whether it's to do with cash flow management, changing your super. He does it in quite a smart way, where he creates date nights each week where there's one thing for you to do each week over a certain period. I believe that is a really smart way of getting people to do something. He kind of makes it accountable with you and your partner, or you and a friend. And there's just little small hacks that you can do to make quite a large difference in your current situation. I also like Tony Robbins' new book, Unshakable, which is a summarized version of his Bible of a book, Money Master the Game, which was literally like this big. Tony, who is an all-time great motivational speaker and mindset coach who has spoken to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, but also very close with a lot of the top athletes and investors, and does one-on-one coaching, whether it be from Serena Williams to Warren Buffett. He talks to the top 50 investors in the world, and over the last 30 to 50 years, and what he does is he uses his skill set in talking to people and communicating to the public, and takes the principles and the lessons that these guys have learned over their years of investing, and makes it quite clear for, you know, a new investor, kind of giving you great lessons, whether it be to do with the hidden fees that are in mutual funds or behavioral biases that you have when you're investing. It is a little bit more American based. It talks about more of the principles that you can work on in your investing and in your life. And if you haven't watched any of Tony's stuff, I would definitely recommend watching his Netflix documentary, I Am Not Your Guru. I think that gives you a great summary of kind of what he does and how much of a great man he is. I mean, when all of his book sales, he goes to Feeding America Association. So yeah, that's another great book. My favorite book at the moment is Principles by Ray Dalio. I don't think I would start here, but this is definitely a book to work towards, where Ray, who is the all-time greatest hedge fund investor, started a company called Bridgewater Capital 40 years ago, which is a hedge fund that is now closed to investors because he's just performed so well above and beyond the market. Ray is one of the most successful investors and entrepreneurs where before his fund closed, you needed $5 billion net assets and then $500 million in cash ready to invest. So he's written this book called Principles, which breaks down, it's kind of broken into two sections. It's his life principles and then his work principles. And what Ray does in this book is he kind of encourages you to see what he's done and the principles that he's learned over his illustrious career, but then also take what you find useful, but then create your own principles in life. So instead of it making emotional decisions about investing or your day-to-day life, he kind of breaks it down into a systemized, principle-based decision-making model for everything he did in life. And it's really fantastic, and I'm kind of starting to create my life that way, where everything's based on a set of principles, and especially with investing, I think it's very important so your emotions don't get a hold of you. For example, Bitcoin at the moment is going crazy, and all the other cryptocurrencies, and it's just riding the wave of what everyone's saying, but fundamentally I want the principles to make the decisions for me and not my emotions. So Ray Dalio's book Principles is all-time great, my favorite book ever. But for starting point, definitely, Michael, I would start with The Barefoot Investor by Scott Pape. Thanks for watching the first episode, guys. I hope you found some value in it. Please feel free to either connect with me on my social media platforms at AndrewJHW or through the hashtag AskAndrewW, and I'll be sure to get you questions next week. Please feel free to also give me some feedback on how you liked the show, what you liked, what you didn't like. I'm also looking at getting a few guests on, so that should be fun for some different insights on different topics. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.